Welcome, Taurus. This is Regina from Pacific Tarot, getting ready to do your new moon in Taurus energy. The new moon's active on the 15th of May or the 16th, depending on where you are in the world. And the energy that's inspiring this reading is Mars conjunction to Chiron. Mars is our physical energy, our bravery, our courage, our determination. Our unstoppability. And Chiron is the wounded healer, the place where we recognize that our deepest gifts, our greatest facility is through our desire to heal our own wounds, to make ourselves whole from an experience of suffering, pain, even trauma. So I've started here with the wild unknown archetype, the apocalypse. And I'm going to start with this. I'll read from the guidebook. Apocalypsis indicates a particularly painful time, removing the veil of deception. The first is lifting of the veil. This means truths that have been kept in the dark are revealed, seen, and unearthed. No matter how relieving it is to witness them come into the light, an element of despair and grief may follow. The second dynamic is the regeneration that comes from the wreckage of the revealed truth. The old narrative breaks and a new story forms. Apocalypsis energy is similar to that of a forest fire, devastation for the sake of regeneration. The veil lifts and we see who and what has been hiding. From the nakedness of the truth, a child is born. Have faith in the process. Hold on to your center. That is the only way. And the companion card to this is the key word trust. I accept that my inner voice will always guide me correctly. And I think for those of you that are experiencing this powerful new moon energy, it's very grounded. I think this is key to your experience of the world. Trusting yourself, putting your needs, yourself at the center of any situation, knowing that you know the answers within. You have the intuition, the requisite sensitivity and awareness of what's going on. You're responsive to the needs of others. You're always looking to the balancing, harmonizing of energies with others in any form of exchange. So this trust is key because it is trusting yourself, not trusting others, even others who may be experts, may have guided you well in the past, but you're the only one that knows what you need. And so this is key because I believe for those of you that have been severely hurt, damaged, wounded, this is the hardest thing to come by. If you don't trust others, you likely don't trust yourself. So I'm feeling like this is really a big key to your recognizing a truth, an illusion falling away from you, something you believed in that you thought would improve your life that has turned out to be false. And instead that you are building something new, experiencing a new sense of who you are, your centrality to the abundance that you desire in your life. In the present, the Ace of Cups. This is a beautiful confirmation of this idea that not only trust, but love is yours. Love is central to your what you deserve, your worthiness. If others don't love you in a way that you feel is appropriate, then it is incumbent upon you to love yourself, to give yourself the attention that others cannot or will not. It really doesn't matter why they don't. It matters that you do. And until you see yourself as central, and I don't mean pedicures and manicures, I mean really listening to yourself day in and day out. What do you need? What can you manage? How can you manage among your responsibilities to prioritize your well-being? To trust that if you feel a way, that can be followed through on, and then that's going to guide you correctly. Not listening to what others necessarily say you should be doing. This is intimate stuff, so I know this is not as easy as it sounds, and it's harder because love and trust exists between intimates, but our intimates are not always people that are speaking to our best interests simply because they don't always know what it is. They think they do, but they don't. Only you know that. So this comprises a way in which you are reevaluating relationships as a way of creating healthier boundaries and limits on the way that others encroach upon your personal decisions, movements, and actions that only you get to determine. In the past, the Hierophant. You've done really well in some very conventional vein. You have committed to uh, perhaps accumulating things that you believe would stabilize your life, make you safer, protect you, provide the comfort that you want. This is telling me that you are entrenched in, or have been entrenched in, the status quo. So you have done many things by the book, as many things as you could. When you haven't done them by the book, you've corrected that to the best of your ability and fallen in line, and that has netted you a sense of security and stability, perhaps that has been undermined recently. Perhaps this normal experience or alignment with what should happen, who you should be, how things should look, what you should have, is no longer working in your best interest. And that commitment now transfers from whatever this is to. This is a commitment to providing for others, to creating a healthy environment, to providing a safe environment for others, to committing, following through on your obligations in your job, at your community. This is indicating a huge shift to making yourself central to that, believing in your gift, in your talent, in your skills, to make them central. To know that these structures are now meant to support this gift, this expression, this creative voice. In the future, the Ace of Pentacles, 2 Pentacles. Wow, this is quite lovely, Taurus. So this is showing me that even as you may be abandoning some alliance with some material resources in your life, or deprioritizing those, I should say, not abandoning them, you are opening the doors to new material opportunities, a new level of comfort, a new level of abundance, security, protection, stability in your life. This can even be transferring, moving to a new home, purchasing a new piece of property, getting a better job, moving away from perhaps an entire career field and moving into a new opportunity that allows you to be creative, that allows you to center your gifts, to put yourself in the middle of what needs to happen, to give you a voice, to structure your gift in a way that you can not only experiencing it in full daylight, like not as a side hustle, not as a an extra pen money thing, but this is you really being in a place where who you are is central to the way that you accumulate value, worth, money, abundance, profit, all of that. Taurus, if this is resonating with you at all, please please like this video, subscribe to my channel. Pacific Tarot, I thank you so much for being here with me today and appreciate whatever you do in whatever way you do it. So I'm going to clarify the Hierophant in the past with 2 cards. And we have the 9 of Wands and the 7 of Cups. For the Ace of Cups in the present, we have the Page of Wands and the Queen of Cups. And in the Ace of Pentacles, we have the 9 of Pentacles and the 9 of Cups. Wow, quite lovely. Very, very nice. I love all the 9s. So you've definitely peaked in terms of your efforts in establishing some very traditional norms in your life. If you have worked a career, you have worked to the end of that career and are now experiencing the abundance of that. This shift, and I'm going to stick with the metaphor of a job for right now, you have on the other side of your perhaps retiring or moving to a new opportunity, you have experienced a wealth of options in a way that was not available to you through your work. And forgive me, I have a very noisy young neighbor upstairs. I'm sorry for that. So this is about things opening up for you in the past as a result of your completion, closing out a cycle of effort, a work career, a commitment to employment, having that good job that gave you a possibility to stabilize your family, your home, your life. In the present, the Ace of Cups is clarified by the Page of Wands and the Queen of Cups. This is really emphasizing this incredible way that you are putting yourself at the center of your universe. You're not conceptualizing your life in this very modest, humble way. You're feeling your power, your creative power, your and this is Venusian power. So your ability to harmonize, to find beauty in everything, to make everything beautiful in your circle as a part of a very big universe. And you rule that. You are in control of that. You determine the resources that make you feel supported and seen and those that do not. And you eliminate those. You allow yourself to be inspired. And whatever you are doing in your life, you are inspiring a lot of people. This is telling me that a lot of children or young people see you, experience you, and are deeply inspired, motivated to do what you do, to experience, to live life in the way that you do, to mimic your gift. If this is a particular creative skill, others are inspired by the way you practice it, the way you live it as a lifestyle. And so you are impacting others in a very deep, healing way. You're showing others what is possible. And I'm not sure who you are or what your history is, but I know that whatever your history has been, students are amazed. They may have never encountered someone like you before. Not just young people, but newer, young people, and not students necessarily, or children, just young people that are encountering your presence are amazed. They're enchanted by what you can do. In the future, the Ace of Pentacles is clarified by two nines, the Nine of Pentacles and the Nine of Cups. And this is stacked on top of the Nine of Wands in your first. Nines are always about completions of cycles. So it's interesting here because you're showing me that your independence, your autonomy is the fuel, the foundation of this new opportunity. Your gift, the way that you've developed your gift, is something that is creating an opportunity that you had not seen before. And because this is such a deep reflection of not only your effort over years, your ability to learn and adapt as needed in order to achieve practical, real life results, you are extremely happy. You are engaged. This feels like the icing on the cake of something. You've already established a firm foundation and a track record of being able to establish a norm that has given you opportunities that you have extended through this ability to put yourself center. So it's interesting because I'm now thinking how this relates to this idea of a forest fire, of something that is destroying something to regenerate it. And only you will know what that opportunity is. It feels on some level like it could be a career or employment path that has been decimated. You may have been laid off, the company may have folded, and yet that devastation, which is impacting your entire lifestyle, can be opening you up to doing something that you've always been good at, you've always had a talent with. This can be, for some of you, somebody who is an excellent cook, is a great gardener, is a wonderful seamstress, is a painter, is a singer. Whatever your skill set, this becomes something that inspires you to develop a source of income and a way into a very lucrative, profitable activity, one that allows you to be independent and fulfilled, deeply satisfied, joyful, and happy. I can't help, Taurus, but wish this for all of you. This is incredibly beautiful. And from the flower oracle, I pulled the agapanthus, one of my absolute favorite, lily of the Nile. And the key words are words of love. Speak with your heart. Until next time, Taurus, namaste.